Hey there, it's me, Marshall, again, and today, why don't you join me as we step into the time machine to go back to the groovy 1970s, a decade of innovation and imagination. In this video, we're diving deep into the world of tech nostalgia, starting with Magnavox Odyssey. The early 1970s was when the Magnavox Odyssey appeared, sparking the birth of home video gaming. Imagine a time when playing video games at home was as magical as it sounds. The Magnavox Odyssey wasn't like the game consoles you have today. It was a humble box that connected your TV. It came with these little overlays that you placed on the screen to create different game environments. What made it so special was that it let families play games right in their living rooms. There was no internet, no fancy graphics, just simple fun. You moved dots and lines on a TV screen, but to us it was like stepping into a virtual world. Now, what was the obsession over that? Well, it was because it was a first-of-its-kind experience. People yearned for the Odyssey to bring excitement into their homes. Imagine playing a game of tennis or shooting at aliens on your TV. It was pure magic. Families huddled around, giggling and competing, sharing moments of joy. The Odyssey was like a treasure chest of simple pleasures. It wasn't about stunning graphics or complex stories. It was about bringing people together through play. It was a symbol of innovation, a glimpse into the future where fun came from a box. Panasonic TR001 ICTV. Now, back in the late 1960s, this TV was a true marvel, bringing the magic of moving pictures into our homes. Imagine a time when TVs were bulky and required a bunch of tubes. The TR001 was like a glimpse into the future. Compact and futuristic with a sleek design that was ahead of its time. It had a 1-inch screen that displayed black and white images like a tiny window into a different world. But what really made this TV special was its use of integrated circuits, ICs, which were like the tiny electronic brains that made it work. These ICs were a big deal back then, as they made the TV more reliable and efficient. No more waiting for tubes to warm up. Now imagine having a TV that you could carry around. It was like having a personal cinema in your pocket. Families could watch shows or news anywhere they pleased, not just in the living room. The TR001 was a symbol of innovation and progress, and people wanted to be a part of this TV revolution. Owning the TR001 meant you were on the cutting edge of technology. It was a conversation starter, a gadget that amazed friends and neighbors. People were willing to save up their pennies for this pocket-sized wonder, as it embodied the excitement of the era and the promise of a future filled with even more incredible gadgets. Sears WalkieTalkie. Back in the 1970s, communication wasn't just about smartphones. It was about these handheld wonders that connected friends and adventures. Imagine having a gadget in your hand that let you talk to your pals without yelling across the street. The Sears WalkieTalkie was like having your own secret line of communication. It had a button you pressed to talk and release to listen, just like magic. These walkie-talkies were a pair, one for you and one for your buddy. They were radio waves to send messages, no need for cell towers or internet. You could be out exploring and with a push of a button share stories and giggles like you were right next to each other. The idea of being an explorer, a spy, or even a superhero with the power to talk over distances was what got kids at the time hooked. Kids yearned for them because they unlocked a world of imagination and adventure. They could plan secret missions, tell jokes, and feel connected even when they were apart. These walkie-talkies weren't just gadgets, they were tools of friendship and connection. People wanted them to stay in touch, to create memories, and to share moments that felt like they were part of a great adventure. The Sears WalkieTalkie was a gateway to a world of fun and friendship. It was a symbol of the magic that happens when technology lets us communicate with the ones we love, no matter where they are. Motorola Dynatac. When the Motorola Dynatac 8000X burst onto the scene, it was a real game changer, a phone that could truly be carried with you. Imagine a device that weighed about 2.4 pounds, a bit like holding a small bag of flour, but oh, the freedom it offered. The Dynatac 8000X was the first truly portable phone not connected to any walls. It had a tall antenna that you had to pull up to catch a signal, a bit like a fishing rod for communication. This marvel didn't have any fancy touchscreens, just a simple LED display and a numeric keypad. And get this, it offered 30 minutes of talk time after charging for 10 hours. Patience was a virtue back then. Now, why was it so sought after? Well, think about it. Before the Dynatac, phones were stuck at homes or in offices, but suddenly you could make calls from almost anywhere. It was like holding a piece of furniture in your hand. People were willing to shell out around $39.95, $3,995. That's like a small fortune, just to be part of this mobile revolution. The mobile Dynatac 8000X may not have been as sleek as today's gadgets, but it was the start of a journey that led to the wondrous devices you use effortlessly now. The Motorola Dynatac 8000X may not have been as sleek as today's gadgets, but it was the start of a journey that led to the wondrous devices you use effortlessly now. Ring ring, Marshall calling, just checking in on how you've been enjoying the video so far. Hey, before I hang up the phone, a friendly reminder to consider subscribing to the channel and to not take your eyes off the screen because you'll surely recognize this next one. Apple II. In the late 1970s, the Apple II computer burst onto the scene, and boy, it was a marvel. Imagine a time when computers weren't sleek screens but big boxes with buttons. The Apple II was a wonder to behold with its colorful graphics and whopping 4 KB of memory. That's like having a teaspoon of memory by today's standards. It had a built-in basic programming language, so you could make it do your bidding. But what truly set the Apple II apart was its ability to connect to a TV, not for watching shows, mind you, but for displaying your computer creations. And games, yes, simple yet captivating games like Oregon Trail that whisked you away on virtual adventures. Back then, having a computer at home was like having a slice of the future. The Apple II wasn't just a tool, it was a window into endless possibilities. You could write, draw, and even make your own little programs dance on the screen. Folks craved the Apple II because it promised to make them part of this digital revolution. It was educational, entertaining, and an inspiration. Families saved up about $1,298, a small fortune then, to welcome this technological gem into their homes. LED display calculators. Picture this, a compact machine with numbers that lit up just like magic. The LED display calculators had these tiny glowing numbers that danced when you pressed the buttons. They could add, subtract, multiply, and even divide, like having a math wizard right at your fingertips. What made them special? Well, before these calculators, crunching numbers meant using papers, pencils, and your brain power. But these LED calculators changed the game. They were quick, accurate, and oh so fascinating to watch. The LED display wasn't just about numbers, it was about style too. Owning one was like carrying a piece of future in your pocket. Students, professionals, and even everyday folks wanted these gadgets because they made math look cool and calculations seem like child's play. Having a calculator back then was a status symbol, showing you were up to date with technology, and it was like having a mini computer before computers were common. People saved up their hard-earned money to get their hands on one of these little marvels, and they treasured them like gems. Hewlett-Packard HP65. The Hewlett-Packard HP65, a true wonder of the 1970s, this wasn't just a calculator, it was a handheld marvel that made math a breeze and changed the game for professionals and math enthusiasts alike. Picture this, a sleek calculator that just wasn't about numbers. The HP 65 was a programmable calculator, meaning you could teach it to do all sorts of math tricks. It had problems like a piano for numbers, and you could even save your programs onto tiny magnetic cards. But what really set it apart were the abilities it offered. It could solve complex equations, perform trigonometry, and even help engineers with their calculations. It was like having a tiny genius in your pocket, ready to tackle any math challenge. Why was it such a big deal back then, you ask? Well, back then, people were using slide rules and hand-crank calculators for serious math work. The HP 65 was a revolution. It made calculations faster, more accurate, and oh so smooth. It was like having a Swiss Army knife for math in your pocket. Professionals, scientists, and students coveted the HP 65 because it boosted their productivity and allowed them to tackle complex problems with ease. It was a status symbol, a badge that said, "I'm serious about numbers." Folks invested in this marvel to simplify their work and stay ahead in the exciting world of technology. The Hewlett-Packard HP 65 was the start of a journey that led to the powerful computers and calculators you see everywhere now. It was a pioneer in the age of digits and formulas. Pulsar P1. The Pulsar P1 watch was the epitome of futuristic cool. This wasn't just a watch, it was a glimpse into a world where technology met fashion in the most jaw-dropping way. Imagine a wrist adorned not just with a time teller, but with a piece of the future. The Pulsar P1 was the world's first digital watch, and it proudly displayed time in bold red digits. No ticking hands, just pure digital magic. But wait, there's more. The watch didn't tick, it pulsated. It had a distinctive way of showing time by blinking its digits. It was like having a tiny disco party on your wrist every time you checked the time. Why was it so sought after? Well, it was a blend of high tech and high fashion. Owning a Pulsar P1 wasn't just about keeping track of time, it was about making a statement. It showed that you were on the cutting edge of what was possible. Celebrities, professionals, and anyone who wanted to stand out embraced this timepiece. People saved up their pennies to own this marvel. It wasn't just a watch, it was a conversation starter, a status symbol. It represented the idea that technology could change even the simplest things in life, like telling time in a bold and exciting way. The Pulsar P1 was the beginning of a trend that merged technology and style, setting the stage for wearable wonders you have today. It was a beacon of modernism that adorned wrists with a dash of futuristic flair. The Dustbuster. A time when cleaning looked like a leap into the future with the Dustbuster. Imagine a world where tidying up wasn't all about cords and outlets, it was about freedom. The Dustbuster, sweeties, was a handheld vacuum like no other. No more dragging big machines around. This little wonder was cordless and compact. It was as if a magic wand had turned house cleaning into a breeze. Picture this, a sleek, space-age design that felt like something from a sci-fi movie. The Dustbuster had a snazzy handle and nozzle that slurped up crumbs, dust, and little messes like a pro. It didn't need a power outlet. It had its own battery power. Before the Dustbuster, cleaning was a chore that tied you down. This little gadget set you free. You could reach corners, stairs, and even your car without lugging a heavy vacuum. It was a revelation. This meant less time spent on cleaning and more time spent on fun. Families adored this modern marvel. It was like having a magic tool that had messes disappear in a snap. People wanted to make their lives easier, and they gladly embraced the sleek design that looked like something out of a space adventure. Though today's robot vacuums and smart home gadgets might seem like wizardry, remember that the Dustbuster was the beginning of a new era in cleaning convenience. It was a promise that technology could transform everyday tasks into moments of freedom and joy. And there you go! So which of these technological wonders did you have as a kid? or even wanted to have? Let me know in the comments section, and I'll see you on the next one.